2000 saw women making significant inroads into prominent positions in government and business. Quentin Bryce was sworn in as the first female governor in 2008. And in 2010, Julia Gillard became Australia's first female Prime Minister. And in 2017, Master Builders Australia appointed Danita Warne to its top job.
Well, I'm very proud of the fact that I was the first female CEO of Master Builders Australia. When I started, it was around about 12% were women in the industry. It's still not great, it's sitting on around 15%, but we now run a program called Women Building Australia, and there are a range of opportunities throughout that program to encourage and support women through their journey with the industry. It is so incredibly important that we're seeing such a massive uptick of women starting trades, apprenticeships throughout the country, and we need to see that continue.
It is so important that we do increase the female participation rate in the construction industry. Being the third largest industry in Australia and continuously growing, we are going to need so many more workers over the next few years. And women provide significant benefits in our industry. It's been shown that through more diverse perspectives, we can increase our productivity, profitability, and provide a better culture. And then we need to look at providing opportunities.
Having fought their way from the brink of bankruptcy, the next generation of presidents worked to further shore up MBA's future.
We decided to hold some money that we made each year and put in a fund. And we weren't going to touch that money. That was there to future-proof and build up so that we have sufficient funds for the association. We made a plan that it is better to own the property than rent it. We were paying exorbitant rents all around the place. So we decided to buy property and get a portfolio of property going.
And through Ross Mitchell's tenure as president and Gordon Leggett's, Simon Pilcher's and myself, we actually went out there and purchased all the places where we operated from. Those being Ballina, Wollongong, Orange, Port Macquarie, Norwest Training Centre was built at that time, and many others. So there's a continued strategy now to actually buy where we operate from.
To help encourage the next generation into the building industry, the MBA decided to create a Master Builders Education Centre at Norwest Business Park in Sydney.
The price tag was about $6 million, which was quite expensive. But once we had a look at what we could make out of that property, it was a great buy. Norwest is the start of something big for the association.
Congratulations everyone here. It is a pleasure to officially open it, and I think it's hard to imagine a more exciting thing as we march into the future on the capacity to see more and more apprentices, and that's the vision of Master Builders. That's my vision. Learning their skills and building the facilities, the infrastructure and the housing we need. So that's why today is so important, and delighted to be here. So thanks very much.
With a little bit of a renovation and expansion, we now have our education and training facility, as well as an apprenticeship department that looks after around 280 apprentices, as well as training apprentices.
Mentorship is a big part of the New South Wales MBA program, and the rewards of these relationships are felt long past the training phase.
I had 2 apprentices. One of them in particular, I elevated him to a foreman, and he was running projects for me. And which I was quite proud of that.
We should be really quite rightly proud of the training that is undertaken by Master Builders Movement, very much led by Master Builders New South Wales in the training arena. It is so incredibly important that we have trained people and that they are trained well. We know the completion rates when they go through a Master Builders training is so much higher than the general completion rates for the rest of the trade apprentices.
Another area that the industry turned its attention to is the one of mental health and suicide prevention. The MBA was invited by the building unions to participate in the Mates in Construction program. It has been an incredible journey, with the industry coming to grips with suicide and mental health issues.
Yeah, so Mates in Construction is a holistic program. It's about training and support. One without the other would be insufficient. But it's also about ensuring that nobody in our watch gets left alone or left aside. So what we do is we go out on site, we train people about what to look for, what are those signs when someone's doing it tough emotionally, what are those signs of suicidality, and about what to do with them. How do you keep someone safe while connecting them to support? We have a blueprint for better mental health and suicide prevention within the industry.
There's many people in our industry and afar that have been touched by particularly suicide. Mates in Construction is one of the most important factors or developments in our industry, which I think is great. It's a really strong message.
Mental health became an even bigger issue when COVID-19 swept the world in 2020. MBA became the point of contact for its members on all the government regulations around the pandemic.
The building industry had been given essential status, which meant that we were able to continue to work. And as the numbers of COVID-19 incidents increased, a number of restrictions were considered for our industry. And so MBA's position was that we had to get information out to members and the industry continuously.
In July of 2021, Saturday morning, I received a phone call, and I won't forget this, at about 10:20 from a government representative saying that the Premier, Gladys Berejiklian, was about to make a statement about the industry, that is, the building and construction industry.
Now, the next decision was a difficult one, but until July 30, until midnight on July 30, there will be a pause on all construction, large or small. Non-urgent repairs, any form of building, renovation, construction, maintenance, including cleaners into the home or workers into the home, will not be allowed for all of Greater Sydney until July 30. We know this is a big decision.
For the next 2 weeks, there was almost a manic timetable of meetings, and we were meeting sometimes 3 times a day with government, industry and unions to improve the protocols to get our industry open. The relationship with the CFMEU was, I felt, very good. In fact, the CFMEU played a major role in getting the message out to their members and to large building sites, and were collectively very strong in ensuring that our building industry, particularly in the commercial sector, remained viable.
The crisis not only brought unions and employers closer together, it also strengthened ties with government.
As the Building Commissioner, my role has got three main functions. The first is a role of advocacy. So I have to advocate for the issues that are really going to affect consumers and where the industry needs to take more notice of a consumer focus rather than a self-focus. The second piece of work has been to work with the regulator and to start to guide the transformation of the regulator into a more modern organisation, one that is really dealing with the issues of the industry before projects are finished rather than historically afterwards, because it's very difficult indeed to actually go back and make something perfect if it hasn't been made properly in the first place. And the third area of work is to actually get the industry to want to invest in itself, to use this time to reimagine itself in a way that says, well, we need better capabilities, we need better understanding of the way we transact with each other. And so it's really been quite an exciting period of time to see all of these things come together. Right throughout my career, the Master Builders have been our touchdown to go back and to get advice on new legislation, on industrial relations, on employment conditions. They've really been a centrepiece where there are thousands of people who have relied on the MBA over the course of my career.
For over 2 decades, the MBA has been rebuilding itself, backed by a talented and resourceful team.
The organisation thrives and flourishes due to staff
Dedication, and in particular we have the Finance and Administration Department, the Awards and Events Department, Industrial Relations and Safety, Technology and Information, our Legal Department, Membership Services, Training and Apprenticeships, and indeed our 8 regional offices.
But even with all those departments and resources to call on, there's always room for improvement.
So the next 150 years, and it's all about making the association strong and stable to take on the next number of decades. And certainly we see a future in training the future needs of the industry is significant. And so altogether, as long as we're working in the area of improving outcomes for builders and for members and the industry, that's the future.
And the MBA will continue to stand for excellence in buildings and building practices, as it has done from the very beginning.
The organisation's had 150 years. It's been through all sorts of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it's a membership organisation, and I'd like to think that we're helping to upskill our membership, to inform our membership, to support our membership more than we've ever done before.
The MBA has proved itself to be an invaluable conduit between its members and their clients, the unions and the government. And through that synergy, we have all created Australia's most iconic buildings, both public and private. Together, we're looking forward to the next chapter, building a bigger, brighter and more sustainable future for everyone.